Inspire with Nendrix. The foundation. Malakasa boy, this is my resident.
Hey, welcome back to Your Best Life with Dr. Danielle Hairston with another 5-minute quickie. I hope you have 5 minutes for me today. Just 5 minutes. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about getting ready for the fall semester with your college students specifically. I know many of you guys are getting ready for the fall semester with your K through 12 student, but this 5-minute quickie is really specifically for those parents who are getting ready to send their freshmen on campus for the first time during COVID, or sending your college student back on campus with a little bit of anxiety. So this is what I'm going to say to a lot of the parents. This is difficult. This decision to send your child back on campus or send your child to campus for the first time, their first experience away from home during this crisis, and really expecting our kids to behave. So we know that part of this plan working out on these campuses, because most campuses, I would venture to say all campuses have a return to campus plan, a COVID inspired return to campus plan. And a lot of that is self-governance. If you know you have a child that may be struggling with the whole idea of self-governance, because you got to kind of live with them for 18 years, you've gotten to see how they handle rules and regulations and if they're compliant types of children or not, young adults. This is a time for you to get really real about deciding to send them back to campus, because this is all about self-governance. The universities can put together as many elaborate plans as possible. They can be very, strategic about testing your young person, your young scholar. But if your young person, your young scholar is problematic with self-governing, you might want to have some real conversations before sending them back on campus, and that becoming the burden of the institution, the burden of the surrounding community. Many of these institutions are saying that if you are coming, and policy shows and policies across all the United States, that if you are coming from a hot spot, that you have to quarantine for 14 days prior to convening any type of activities on campus or going to any of your courses that are face-to-face. And if you have a young person who will not self-quarantine for the full 14 days, there's not much the institution can do outside of doing these checks to make sure your student is still in their room or in this space that they're self-quarantined, making sure that they're bringing them meals from the cafeteria, whatever plan or process they have in place for those young people who have to self-quarantine. The university will follow through with that. But your young person have to self-govern. So have that hard conversation with your young person before you put them on that plane, before you get in that car and pack them up and driving across country. You know your child better than anyone else. So please do not burden the institution with governing your child's behavior. This is not K through 12. They're not calling mom and daddy. They're not doing that. They're really having an expectation that these mature young people will be coming on campus ready to make good decisions. Also, if you are not a part of a parents group A lot of these institutions have parent groups. They are either on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. They have a platform. Check it out. Go into your university's website and Google or search parents program or parents group or whatever, so that you can find out what parents group has been created to help give you some guidance. Oftentimes it is other parents supporting other parents on platforms. So please go into those spaces and find out what's happening, what groups have been formed to help keep you informed and help answer your questions. Read the policies in detail. Don't scan it, read it in detail. There is a plan, a return to campus plan that these universities have in place. Read it in detail before you start asking questions that are already answered in the plan. So again, your child, your child. Make good decisions about sending them back on campus. All right, go back to doing whatever you're doing. This is my 5-minute quickie. Go out in the community and embrace someone. They're waiting on you, and continue to live your absolute best.
My Lacasa boy, this is my residence. My prescription boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening and living in house resemblance. Not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime.